How's it going, everybody? We are live, the Collecting Brothers, back with another episode 5, where we're opening up some action figures and figure out which one is the best of the night. Let's see here. We'll just give it a second here. All right. Let's see here. There we go. All right, just getting things set up here. Got both cameras again. All right, so we have some Transformers. We have some Marvel Legends to open up. Some Fortnite Victory Royale series. What else I got? NECA, Team NT, some McFarlane toys. A lot of good stuff to open up, as well as some Marvel Legends. And we'll open all those figures up. I'll let you know my thoughts, and at the end, we'll do kind of like a battle royale where we will decide and knock off one by one and figure out which action figure was the best of the night. It's a lot of fun. I have some interesting stories to tell, some insights behind the figures. So starting off, let's get going here. Let me just make sure that the cameras are set up nicely. So we have our overhead ready to go. All right, just making sure that overhead camera is looking right. Okay. So, let's go ahead and start. We have 10 figures that we're going to open tonight. One is a 5-pack, so that's half of what we're going to be opening. But I am going to start with, let's see, we have Transformers, Fortnite, some Joes, TMNT, McFarlane Toys. I'm going to start with McFarlane Toys, and we will move on from there. So first up, we have 7 Deadly Sins by McFarlane, Escanor, and let's see, here's my X-Acto knife. This guy was $5 at my local Ross, so a really good price for him. Couldn't say no. Now, I have more so plans to make this like a custom figure than anything. Especially because it was $5, I was like, might as well pick it up. So there's the packaging, and there's the back. There's Escanor. How's it going? If you guys are just joining, how's it going? We just started. This is our first figure that we're opening, the McFarlane Toys 7 Deadly Sins Escanor. If you're in the chat just joining, let me know what you'd like me to open next. I have NECA, Transformers, Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, Fortnite Victory Royale series. And then stay tuned because I have a kind of a crazy story that maybe some of you guys might be able to relate to. As collectors, you guys might have the same horror stories. So here is Escanor. So here's a look at him. I kind of wanted to use this figure more so as like a base body maybe for like an alien. Because his proportions are very exaggerated, you know, because it's based off of the 7 Deadly Sins anime. I was thinking maybe I could pop like maybe a Cosmic Legion's head on here and maybe paint up the skin, you know, blue or purple or some sort of color, and make a cool little alien figure. But judging this just off here, I do think it's a good likeness to Escanor from the anime, and we have his nice tattoo painted on. And he has tattered pants, as you can see. Nice detail throughout the figure. And as always, you get with McFarlane Toys your stand with their logo. And for his one accessory, he gets his massive battle axe. Articulation-wise, he has double elbows, but it goes up way far. Of course, there's like a little bit that it's not going to go all the way up because of his muscles, but it goes pretty far. He can't go forward or back really at all. Like, it looks like there's a massive ball joint right there that you would think that he could move pretty far, but it's barely anything. So that's a pretty disappointing joint because, yeah, it just doesn't move at all, really. Double knees, very nice. Double knees and double elbows, you always got to appreciate that. And let's see what else. Let's see how well he holds his weapon. Oh, I may need to heat this. No, I think I can get it in. There we go. And there is a butterfly, but as you can see, it barely moves. As with most McFarlane butterflies, I feel like it's like hit or miss, really. And I feel like for the most part, they don't really move that well. It could just be due to the sculpt issues that, not sculpt issues, but like the sculpt that these characters require. So he does hold the axe very well, as you can see. And overall, not a bad figure for $5. But of course, if judging off of retail price, which would be $20, definitely there are some better figures out there. But check out that. Look at that. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. An 8-pack? This dude got an 8-pack. That's why I was saying, like, I could use this. I'm going to use this guy for an alien custom, just because his proportions are way crazy. Huge, big old traps, small, tiny waist, and big arms. There is Escanor, our first figure of the night. All right, moving on. Let's go. Let's open up. Let's open up this Fortnite Victory Royale Series Lynx. Now, I am very impressed with the... yeah, he is yoked. Yeah. I'm very impressed with the Fortnite Victory Royale Series. I collected previously the when Jazzwares had the license, and Jazzwares did good enough, but I definitely am glad that Hasbro got the license, because their quality of plastic, quality of articulation, like the Victory Royale series just went on a whole new level when Hasbro took over. And I've never been disappointed. Whenever I picked up a Victory Royale series figure from Hasbro, they've always been exactly what I wanted or expected. So great figures. If you don't have a Fortnite figure, definitely try one of them. Here we have Lynx from the packaging. They have on the side here what comes in the package: 2 guns and her pickaxe, and they're on the back. Now, this is technically a reissue or repaint, because the previous Lynx that came out was a black. That's why this one says Lynx and in parentheses red, because it is kind of the second time they've released this figure. But I think not a bad choice, especially because the first Lynx I thought was a great figure. And picking this red color, this very vibrant red, I think works. I think another good choice would have been like a purple. Oftentimes when they depict Catwoman, it's either black or sometimes a purple. And, the black version, it can work like as a futuristic Catwoman. That's kind of what I was thinking. And where this one, if it was purple, if they did like a reissue of a purple version, it could work as a Catwoman as well. But here is the figure. Overall, I think great paint apps. Like, look at those little beads on the top, if you can see them. And on the side of the arms, you get nice detail on the arms. And on the back here, we have the tail. It is on a ball, so it does go all the way around 360, but it also has a little bit of movement where it can go up. Now, it won't stay up that much, but it can go up and down and tuck in, right? We have a peg hole in the back for the bat bling, of course, the back bling, of course, and we have this nice braid tail. One thing I do like is the feet. Of course, though, they are kind of little, so it will take some balancing on the user's part to get it to stand, because they are so tiny, right? It is a tiny foot there. As for articulation-wise, double elbow, phenomenal, goes all the way up. Double knee, all the way up. Not much you can not much. Now, without bending the legs, it goes a little bit forward. Not too much, but it goes forward. Now, the only other difference in paint is it has some yellow in the eyes, as well as just some dark red on the shoulder. One thing I do like, though, is this gradient from light red to dark red, seen on the arm. That looks really nice, and of course the black ear. But overall, I think a great figure. These Hasbro Fortnite figures are just phenomenal. Like, it's gonna move however you want it to move. It's gonna get everything, any pose that you're gonna like, right? We could get her doing like a jumping. right? Something like that. Something like that I think would look cool. Now let's go over accessories. Accessories wise, you're getting looks like the scar, right? With like a scope attachment. So you're getting 2 guns here, as well as her harvesting tool, which is like this really silver and black kind of futuristic pickaxe. Now, this figure does not come with bat bling, but there are other figures within the line that you can fudge and still put on back bling on the back. Now, it doesn't bug me too much that it doesn't come with bat bling, just because oftentimes I don't like displaying my figures with the back bling, because it just kind of throws off the figure's look a bit. So, overall, I think a fantastic looking figure, great articulation, great paint. Another winner from Hasbro from their Fortnite series. I can't wait to see what other characters and what they're just cool, wacky figures. Like the characters, you know, I'm not really attached to them because I don't really play Fortnite, but from a figure standpoint, these are just fun to have. All right, 2 down, 8 more to go. Next up, we are going to open the bulk of our opening tonight. We have the Marvel Legends Amazon exclusive Spider-Man 5-pack. So here's the front of the packaging. We have Spider-Man, Silvermane on the front, Human Fly, Mutant Man, and Razorback. And on the back, we have all 5 of the characters with their bios. Let's crack this thing open. Now, one thing that's kind of sucks, I think, is that previously with Amazon 5-packs, we would get these really nice packagings where they would have like almost like a 3D print here, like it would be embossed. The print would be embossed, and you could open it. How it would have a Velcro strap, a Velcro like button here that you would open, and then you could see all the figures. And it was like a really nice display piece, because usually when they do packs, right, the figures all go together. But because of like the plasticless packaging, which they are going away from at least, but you just get this. So it just looks like this inside. It's like, it kind of sucks. I mean, I don't really care because I throw away the package anyways, but with those 5-packs, sometimes I would cut out the front cover and use it as a poster because they were really nice. But yeah, on the inside of the box, it just looks like that. It's just a bunch of bags with this divider unboxed. Alright, there's the box. So, first up, let's see who we have here. Silvermane. So, I just picked a random bag. So, they just come in these paper bags, right? So, here we have Silvermane. Now, these are all Spider-Man villains. And they're kind of like C tier or D tier villains. But with this figure, something that maybe people might not know or recognize is they're actually reusing a very old Marvel Legend figure. They're actually reusing the Ultimate Beetle that was released years ago. Like I'm talking before even I think Marvel Legends was doing X-Men, like before they were allowed to do X-Men, like they were just doing like Spider-Man and Avengers at the time. So this is from a very, very old figure. Now it holds up decently, but it's not like, I think Marvel Legends has, especially in these past 1 or 2 years, has definitely upped their game with trying to do pinless bodies and just making better articulation overall, getting butterflies in there, and even the double crunch in the torso sometimes that they're doing. And so with that, you know, it's just a very old figure. It's a very old figure that they're reusing here for Silvermane. So yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but this was the Ultimate Beetle Spider-Man. And then they would attach the port. There was like a little port here, then you attach the wings. But there is Silvermane. Let's get a closer look at his face sculpt. So there's his face, and I think they knocked it out of the park with this head sculpt. Let me know what you guys think. I love, you can kind of see it. They added like these little dark spots to, because he's an old man, he's an old guy. Those little dark spots add so much realism to this figure that this head sculpt makes up for that old body that they're reusing. Phenomenal job by Hasbro. The bags under his eyes, the paint, the 3D print came out phenomenal with this. And that's one thing I love to see now that they're doing is, previously only like the MCU figures would get the 3D print tech, but now even comic figures are getting 3D print tech. So keep it up, Hasbro. I need more figures with 3D print tech, comic-wise, right? So there is Silvermane. Next up here, we have on our favorite body mold, guys, the Bucky Cap body mold. This is Marvel's Human Fly. So there he is. He's kind of like Beetle, right? It's actually the Beetle. I think he shares maybe the Beetle head sculpt, if I'm not mistaken. But let's find his wings. Let's see here. Let's just get all these accessories open, so that way we know what everybody comes with. This was always one thing, though, that I'm going to miss about the plasticless packaging, is that how easy it is to just rip open a paper bag. It doesn't require much force. And when you're opening like a lot of figures like we are tonight, like I'm opening 10 figures up, it's just nice and easy. Whereas when they're in those plastic trays, sometimes it can become a hassle. So there's all the accessories we get. So Silvermane did come with 2 alternate hands, at least, right? So, and this is what I was talking about. This was like the back adapter for the Beetle that they used for this Silvermane. So this is like the ultimate Beetle I was talking about. But instead, this time, it's the Human Fly. And there you just put the back adapter on. These wings, though, are brand new. I don't think I've ever seen these wings. Because these are brand new, actually. So that's nice that they didn't just use the Beetle's wings, because they're too big, and these ones are more fly-like. And I love this texture, this coarse texture that they have on those wings, to kind of replicate, that shimmer that sometimes you see on flies' wings. So I think great job on the wings by Hasbro. Of course, they're using the Bucky Cap mold here. I kind of wish they would have used maybe the Vulcan. Like, I don't think there should be any reason why Hasbro is still using the Bucky Cap mold for any figure, right? Because for whatever figure it is, the Vulcan is the same proportions as the Bucky Cap with better articulation. So it's like, there should be no reason why we're still getting this Bucky Cap mold. Other than it's just saving them money, right? Because it's less pieces because it doesn't have the butterfly. But come on, Hasbro. Get us the Vulcan body. So there is Human Fly. Let's see. He comes with 2 extra hands. Some kind of they're like gripping hands, whereas he has fists on his body currently. All right, so yeah, I love. Oops. Some of our fingers fell down. It's all right. So I love the screaming head portrait. I know sometimes people can not like it just because it does kind of limit what you can do for pictures wise, but sometimes I get kind of tired of the vanilla just straight face, and so to get a villain in a screaming face, I actually enjoy it. Of course, the highlight is the wings. I think they did a phenomenal job on these wings. The texture and the way it captures light is great. The only negative is the Bucky Cap. Even the paint came out really clean. Like, all the lines are crisp. Sometimes you get, some bleeding, but all my lines on the back and on the front, even on this, these arrows on the gauntlets, came out very, very clean. And closer look at the face here. Like, that's some clean paint, right? Overall, I think I like this figure though. This Human Fly figure is very good. All right. Next up here, continuing on with the Marvel Legends 5-pack. That's weird. This figure actually had this cardboard inside of it. It's odd. All right, we have Mutant Man here. Another Spider-Man villain. He is in that like pearlescent kind of plastic. Now, the only drawback with this is that there's going to be a lot of marbleization. And sometimes it's gummier than most plastics, I feel like, because I have, right out of the box, some warping on the legs. The legs are kind of warped. Of course, I can fix that with some heat. But still, though, that's just something to note with these. When they use this, like, kind of marbly, translucent-ish plastic, it's a little bit more gummier of a figure. So he has kind of a angry head sculpt. He has some white in his eyes that you can see here. And I like that there's fire on his fists painted in that orange color. You know, it just adds a little bit of pop, because you don't just want a figure that's all this marbleized. Even though he is Mutant Man, right? You just have to work with the material. So he is Mutant Man, but it's good to have that white in his eyes and the fire on his end of his hands. Just add some interest to him. For accessories, Mutant Man comes with this back piece. Now, it doesn't actually port in the hole. You just lay it on and it just holds on by friction. Now, as you can see, it's a little loose, but it'll hold on. It'll do its job. It's not going to fall off or anything. And then you also get 2 alternate fist hands for him. And you also get 2 of these, standard flame effects that we've come to see many times in multiple different colors. But they are very functional, and I appreciate that they come with these. I love these spiral flame effects that you just kind of open up and pop on his hands. So there's Mutant Man with the 3 flame effects that he comes with. Now, at least Mutant Man has the butterfly, right? In compared to the Human Fly, like, they should have used this body. Like, he's using the Vulcan body, whereas Human Fly's using the Bucky cap. They both should have been on the Bucky cap, the Vulcan body, right? But whatever. Mutant Man has this nice flat top here. And, the marbleization is not an issue with this figure because it lends itself to the character's design. Because he's Mutant Man, right? So you're molten, like, there's gonna be some swirls and some molten lava and rocks and just minerals within him. So it actually worked really well. The fact that they use this, this gummier, translucent-ish plastic works really well for this character. So great choice by Hasbro, using this for Mutant Man. Oh, and I forgot to mention that we do get 2 of these guns for Silvermane. And what's funny about these guns, if you guys are unaware, these are actually just shrunken down models of the Nerf blasters. So they're, like, right here, you can even see the barrel, where it's like 6, because this barrel rotates because it's a Nerf blaster. And same thing with this little double pump shotgun. There's literally a Nerf blaster that looks exactly like this. And with Hasbro owning Nerf, it's just a fun little bit of trivia to notice if you haven't ever seen these Nerf blasters in the store. It's just shrunken down Nerf blasters. Alright. Next up, the last villain in this Marvel Legends 5-pack, the big dog, Razorback. This was kind of the main kind of reason. This was the figure that I wanted the most out of this 5-pack, was this Razorback. Just because of that insane warthog head sculpt. And I think it looks great. There's some dark wash on the bottom of it, around the jowls and around the collar. The tusks are painted nicely. The eyes are painted nicely. And he's on kind of that bigger body mold, that like kind of like a Hyperion or Sentry body mold. So he's definitely a larger character. Here's a top-down view of him. Of course, with this larger body mold, he has no butterfly, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't bug me too much because usually the bigger guys, they're not gonna need that agile butterfly, that back, that where they need to extend all the way back. He's more of a big bruiser guy, you know. He does come with this nice belt, but other than that belt and these like rings around his wrist to simulate the gloves, there is just a solid paint, right? And that's nothing to do with Hasbro being lazy or anything like that, because that's comic accurate. There's nothing much more really I think to do there. So we have pouches, yellow boots. Let's get a closer look at the head sculpt. I think that's the main thing. So there's the warthog face. And yeah, just like what I expected, I love this Razorback figure. And you can see the human face sculpt, I hope, a little bit. And looking at it, it is 3D printed. And you can tell when something's 3D printed versus not. If you get really, really, really close, maybe, yeah, right there, there's like a little bit of fuzz to it. And if it has that fuzz, then you know it's 3D printed. Awesome Razorback figure. The only thing that sucks about this figure is that he doesn't come with any alternate hands or any accessories. I wish they would have, included at least maybe a splayed out open hands for Razorback that you could switch out. So that's the only big downside with Razorback. He comes with 0 accessories. Welcome if you just joined. We're about 4 figures deep of this Marvel Legends Spider-Man 5-pack, and we are on the last figure of this 5-pack. Down in the comments, let me know what you want to see next. I have NECA TMNT, Transformers, G.I. Joe. We have those 3 categories left. Let me know what you want to see next. Figure of the night already? You're calling Razorback already? We'll see. He's sick, but the lack of accessories might hold him back. That's the one downside with this figure. There's no accessories, but the head sculpt, phenomenal, right? Killer job by Hasbro. Now, the last figure of this 5-pack is this Spider-Man. Now, they are using the Ultimate Spider-Man mold. So we have gotten this Spider-Man before, just in the regular red and blue. And it's like the kid Spider-Man body. They did it for the Ultimate Spider-Man, and they did it for the comic Miles Morales, the very first comic Miles Morales. So he's on this little teenage body. And instead of doing the black like they did with... just like with the regular Amazing Spider-Man, they went with this pearlescent purple, which, to be honest, I don't mind. I like when they try new things and do different things. I think it would look good in that straight matte black, but this shiny purple works as well. I don't think it's bad or anything, just because Venom sometimes is depicted as purple. I know this is not Venom, this is Symbiote Black Suit Spidey, but sometimes Venom is depicted this color. Very clean. Let's get a closer look here. Very clean paint apps. Like the spider came out phenomenal with how bumpy, and because of the muscles, the front of him is, and the back of him. Honestly, I say I'm lucky, because for the most part, I don't think, or maybe they're just improving. Maybe Hasbro's improving where they're getting better quality control and they're not getting any like bad paint apps. Because from my experience, there's always like a little bit of smudge, or there's always a little bit of speckles here every now and then. When you get like Marvel Legends, the paint will be kind of a little off. But for the most part, for this 5-pack, I've had no issues whatsoever. And then he has, of course, these really, really big eyes, kind of almost the Todd McFarlane-esque. But it's, the Ultimate Spider-Man body. Definitely enjoy those big eyes, though. And for Spidey, he comes with 2 sets of exchanged hands. So we have the web thwipping hands. Thwip! A set of those for each hand. And then we have a set of wall crawling hands. And there we go. This is why Razorback didn't get an extra hands. He didn't get any extra hands because Spidey had to get 2 sets, which makes sense, you know, because you got to have the wall crawling, the thwipping, and the fists for Spider-Man. I think that's essential, you know. When Spider-Mans don't come with those 3 sets, sometimes it's hard to do the poses that you want to do because, you know, you got to have him fighting, you got to have him crawling up walls, and you got to have him swinging, you know. But yeah, just another Spider-Man. And it's cool to see this mold again because it's kind of a mold we have not seen. Usually we've just been seeing the Pizza Spidey mold and the new Spider-Man vintage card back mold. So nice to see this old kid body. Now let's just do some comparison. So here he is with just a Bucky cap, and as you can see the size difference. So it's definitely, you know, that little kid teenage body mold. And here he is versus Razorback. So big difference there, right? Razorback is on that Sentry/Hyperion mold, where it's that buffer, bigger body mold. So huge difference there. And here he is versus Silvermane. And once again, another comparison here with Mutant Man on that Vulcan body. So overall, I think a pretty solid 5-pack. You know, I know a lot of people were complaining just with kind of, they're just like C tier, D tier villains. But I don't think it's too bad of a 5-pack, especially considering with that almost everybody comes with alternate hands, and just I think the uniqueness that you can find in this 5-pack, like nobody's sharing the same body mold. And that's one thing I appreciate. You just get a very unique collection of figures here. All right, let's see some Joes next. Okay. So G.I. Joe Classifieds here. Next up, we're going to be opening up G.I. Joe Shipwreck. Now, John, the other collecting brother, found this for me at Target. It was 50% off, so you might be able to still find them. I did see the tickets were still up for this figure for 50% off. So not a bad deal. There's the front of the box. I like that they're showing that what you get on the front, you know, because the windowless packaging, it's nice to see what you get. And on the back, you can see more pictures of the accessories. So, Shipwreck. Of course, you get kind of this loot crate box, which is always cool. And they come in, I like that they come in like a printed paper. Whereas like Marvel Legends, nothing. G.I. Joe, come decked out in a G.I. Joe Cobra print, which is cool. Alright, on the inside you get that artwork of Shipwreck screaming. Now, looking at Shipwreck here, he's just kind of got that classic sailor look. You know, he's got that white hat on, the blue shirt, the nice jeans. And as for articulation, he has a very functional butterfly. Double elbows that go that far. They kind of get hindered by the sleeve of the shirt. Ab crunch can go insanely far forward. Like that is a huge crunch. And the same with back. Like that ab crunch is working, man. Oh my gosh. What the heck is that? That is something from Nightmares. Look at that. It's tiny head. So it is removable. We'll get to the accessories that you can do that, but yeah, that looks way wrong. Okay. And then, for some reason, because, I don't know what, it's the sculpt or something, but it's like wanting to jut forward. Like his head is wanting to jut forward. I'm having to push it back. I like the chest hair. I like the details on the shoulders. And, of course, the tattoos. This is my first G.I. Joe figure with tattoos. So that is cool to see. Especially that anchor tattoo. That is nice. That's sick for a sailor. So we get one bag of accessories. Okay. And so yes, you can pop this off, and it looks crazy, right? That looks really wrong, but it's because you can get this alternate hairpiece and pop that on, and that looks nice. That looks really great. You can see the front of there. I love that they do this, almost copying what imports do, where you're not getting whole head sculpts, so they can save on cost, but it's not affecting the collector, right? It's not affecting us in that we still get the same looks. Whereas if they came with 2 head sculpts, they would waste plastic, and it would be the same end result. So phenomenal job by the Joe team to copy kind of what I think imports do, where they just do kind of face plates or hair toppers, you know. As for accessories, he comes with this very pirate-esque pistol. It's got some nice silver and this tan rope at the bottom. Then he comes with this rope, which you can sling over his shoulder, you know, as sailors might carry. It just adds a nice look to him. Or I think, yeah, even slinging it over the top. So there's the rope. And then he comes with this little, like, grappling hook, or a hook, you know, for fishing, or pulling in a boat, or pulling in some nets. Very nice. And then he comes with this black pistol, which has some very nice sculptural detail on the front of it. Let's see if we can focus here. Let's see if it focuses. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, it has like some intricate designs on the front of in this mold. It's like a rope with an anchor, if you can see it on the bottom of the stock of the handle. It's like an anchor. Very nice details. And of course, you get this awesome green, like, what is this, a parakeet? A parrot? I love when G.I. Joes put in animals with their figures, little animal buddies. So let's pop off the head, and then you can sling the rope over him. Pop the head back on. There goes his hat. Now with this rope, the reason why I'm slinging this over is because the rope has a port here, which you can then pop on the bird. Oh, and does he have a peg leg? That's sick. The peg leg. Yeah, the parrot. Look at this thing. It's a peg, but it functions as a peg leg. Functions as the peg, but also a peg leg. Classic pirate stuff, you know. That's awesome. That's hilarious. And of course, he has no back. Usually they come with like some sort of backpack or back accessory. And pistol can go in the holster there. Other pistol can go in this holster. Hook can hook on. There's a little hook here. Which you can hook the grappling hook here. And there he is with all of his accessories. Besides the extra hairpiece, of course. So there is Shipwreck with all of his loaded out things, with all of his accessories on him. A really great figure, and I just like that Joes are expanding beyond, you know, just soldiers. That they're getting into like sailors, and we're seeing now like scuba divers. We're seeing people that are dressed for snow terrain. So it's cool that they're expanding, you know, environments, and we're not just getting the same, you know, basic soldier. So there is Shipwreck one more time, full 360. Gotta love that anchor tattoo, and for younger kids, because they are, you know, not promoting, but they're showing tattoos, right? There is Shipwreck. All right, we have 2 more figures to open tonight. Let's open this Eastman and Laird's Shredder. Now, as you can see, my box is crushed to heck. Does not matter. It's going in the garbage anyways. So there we have the front and the back. Some nice shots there. And inside, you do get this nice Eastman and Laird like comic accurate backdrop, which is cool, right? If you want to display your Eastman and Laird, you can put this in the back of it. It would be nice. Here's our figure, and remember my tip: never go with the X-Acto knife in the front. Always flip it over to protect the paint and get all these plastic things off. Now, I have been collecting this Eastman and Laird's TMNT line a lot lately. I don't know. I think it's such a nice combination of, you know, classic looks with more modern takes, so it allows for more details. I think they're more detailed than the then let's say just like the basic comic line, right? The one that everybody collects, the comic figures. I'm starting to like this Eastman and Laird line, and even the Ronin stuff, right? The Ronin stuff is even more detailed. Especially the Eastman and Laird Triceraton. Man, that thing was insanely good. Or they even have like the four-armed Shredder. That figure was also insane. Alright. So, for accessories, he comes with a Shredder unmasked head, all bloodied up. And I think that looks great. The detail on that, the paint on that. Really good, you know, interpretation of trying to interpret 2D comic images into this 3D figure. Like, it looks like how it should from the comic. Great job by NECA. Then you get this massive gauntlet that you can attach to him, Shredder. Then you get this canister, two-tone canister. Then we get 1, 2, 3 sets of hands, you know, gripping hands, more splayed out hands. But for the most part, they're all just like gripping, but within different thicknesses, like, right? Gripping wide, gripping thin. So 3 different sets of hands. And looking at the figure here. Now, these single-packed Eastman and Laird NECA figures retail for $35. Which is kind of pricier, right? Because NECA's usually used to run like $30, and now they're trying to hit that $35 price point. But you get double elbows. Like that. Double knees. Can't go that far. And I think the highlight of this figure is just the intricate paintwork of trying to make it look like it's a comic image, right? I love all the blacks. I feel like the blacks are exactly where they should be, and they look phenomenal. And there's nice weathering on the helmet, dinks and scratches everywhere. The only downside, I think, is, you know, because they had to preserve the sculpt. They wanted to get these nice slashes in there, so there is no ab crunch in this figure. There is a waist swivel, but no ab crunch. So that's kind of a bummer. With no ab crunch, it does limit, especially because it is Shredder, and he is a like an active fighter. He's a samurai ninja type character. The ab crunch would have been nice. Overall, though, the paint carries this figure. Articulation is somewhat limited, but he does come with phenomenal accessories. This head sculpt is out of this world accurate. Looks ripped, like it was ripped out straight from the comics. Overall, I think a nice figure, but for $35, I think there's better things that you can get for that price, right? It is a good figure, but for $35, you're better off getting maybe something else. Okay, our last figure of the night. We have the Transformers Legacy Evolution. So as you guys know, they were doing like Siege, then they're doing Kingdom, and in this current iteration of Hasbro's Transformers, now they're doing like Legacy, where it's kind of Transformers from all over eras, different eras. There's the front of the box. Here we have, this is Blitzwing, and there is the back. My boxes are always crushed to heck because I get them on discount. That's how I get them on discount, because their boxes are crushed to heck. Now, this is a leader class figure, so this figure does retail for an insane price of like $56, $55. So at that price point, it's hard to even justify this figure. Better be phenomenal, because it's $55. Now, of course, I didn't pay $55 for this figure, but that's what it retails, right? That's what it retails for. Now, right off the bat, I'm already underwhelmed by the size. The size of this figure, for it being a leader class, I gotta say it's small. And this is something I'm starting to see more and more now. Like with leader class figures, I don't know what's going on, but leader class figures are starting to be smaller and smaller. It's just not right, because we're paying $55 for this figure, right? Or if you're paying for retail. Like, it started kind of with that Starscream, the Transformers, the movie Starscream, where he, the Coronation Starscream, that was the one. The Coronation Starscream, it just came with the chair throne and a cape and a crown, and they called it leader class. Where it was Starscream, who's just a Voyager class figure, but just adding a chair and a crown and a cape made him leader class. And I felt that was like wrong. And then we kind of saw the community kind of reject that, because a lot of those Coronation Starscreams, tons of them were hitting Ross. Tons of those Coronation Starscreams were hitting Ross. Just because people were not going to spend $55 for a Voyager class size figure at a leader class price, just with an extra few accessories. And like, look at this compared to my hand. Like, look at this figure. Does this look leader class size to you? I don't think so. Like, if you compare it to like the Megatron tank, like Megatron from the Siege line, that was a Voyager class figure, so a $30 figure, and it's probably bigger than this leader class Blitzwing. So crazy what's going on with leader class figures. And even like with the Optimus, right? They're doing like the Optimus and the Scourge. They use the same mold. Those figures, they add the trailer, and then that Voyager Optimus becomes a leader class. And it's just like, what's going on here? So here we have our instruction manual. And let's see how many. It is a beefy thing. Now, the one saving grace with this figure, and why I think it's so small, and why it is a leader class figure. So, I kind of get it. Because this figure is a triple changer. So it makes sense that it's leader class because of the amount of engineering they had to do for Blitzwing, because he has his tank mode, he has his robot mode, and then he has a jet mode. It's so small because it is a triple changer. So it kind of makes sense, but for $55, I'm just so used to getting like a big figure, like an Ultra Magnus. Like when you get an Ultra Magnus, like Ultra Magnus has a presence, like he's a big bot, and it's like, this is a $50 figure. This is a $55 figure. When you open up Ultra Magnus, you're like, this figure works. Now for Blitzwing, for accessories, he comes with this nice sword. And I love this sword. This sword has a nice shape to it. It's going to work well. He comes with two guns. two blasters that you can attach, of course, anywhere on the ports. And then he comes with these kind of missile launcher attachments that you can attach to the shoulder when he's in alt mode or even in jet mode. Now, you can also attach them in tank mode. Let me see how they attach here. They should just port here. There we go. So they can just port on the back of him. If you want this like heavy firepower tank. So you can attach those on the back of him in alt mode, in both alt modes and in robot mode. Now I will say though, this tank is very nice. The main cannon can go up and down, and this rotates side to side. So as a tank, I think it functions really, really well. It hides the kibble very nicely, and it just looks like a nice tank. This Blitzwing Decepticon tank is very nice. Now we won't have time to change it into robot mode and jet mode, so I'll just give you an image of it. So there he is in robot mode. And as for the jet mode, the jet mode will just look like a basic jet. Which is kind of unfair to this Blitzwing figure, because I'm going to just base it off of this tank mode, just because I'm not going to be able to, triple change it in time for our stream. But basing off the tank mode, I think it looks great. This vehicle mode looks phenomenal. It is a triple changer, but I think the size is very underwhelming for a leader class figure. Okay, so those were our 10 figures that we opened up tonight. Let's give a recap and display them all up here and pick our winner. So let's see here. Oh, while I'm doing this, I'll tell you guys a story about this Blitzwing. So, this Blitzwing figure, when I first ordered it, I actually got figure swapped with it. So, like, a Transformer, this Transformer figure came inside the Blitzwing package. Like, I got this thing. I'm not even sure what this Transformer is, but I got swapped. I ordered the Blitzwing. This came. So let me know if if you guys have ever been swapped, because yeah, man, it sucks when you get swapped. And this is the second time that I think I've gotten figure swapped. And it just sucks when it happens, because I mean, you can always return it, right? But it's just the hassle and the disappointment, man, when you open that figure and then it's like some random figure that you did not order. So let's see here. Let's try to get all these guys up. Yeah, getting swapped is the worst. Luckily, though, second time I ordered this Blitzwing, and the Blitzwing finally showed up. I finally got the Blitzwing. So we opened up the red links from the Fortnite Victory Royale series, the Transformers Leader Class Blitzwing, G.I. Joe Classified Shipwreck, and we have the Marvel Legends 5-pack, Spider-Man 5-pack with villains, and Spider-Man himself, with including Mutant Man, Silvermane, Ultimate Black Suited Spidey, Marvel's Human Fly. I just gotta get them all displayed up here. Kind of tricky, because some of them are warped. Like, I got some warped copies of some of these figures. There we go. But yeah, that's one, I think, definitely good positive is that it's going to be a lot harder for those scammers to swap figures when they bring back plastic packaging. Now, I know they're bringing it back for Marvel Legends and I assume Black Series, but I haven't heard any word about it with the Transformers line. But I hope so, just because, man, it just sucks when that happens. And I have seen, Target employees being trained more on it to where they're more aware now of that. Because I returned one time a figure to Target, and they actually opened the box in front of me, which was kind of surprising because I'd never seen them do that. Now, of course, I didn't swap the figure, so I had nothing to worry about. But it was just something the first time I noticed that they, when I was returning the figure, they asked me why are you returning this figure, and they opened it up in front of me to check that the figure matches the picture, which I think is a good thing because, man, those swappers, they're going crazy. They were going crazy even before the plasticless packaging, and then once that plasticless packaging was introduced, they were going ham on swapping. Okay, so these are the 10 figures we opened up. McFarlane Toys 7 Deadly Sins, NECA Shredder, the Marvel Legends Spidey 5-pack, Razorback, Human Fly, Spidey, Silvermane, Molten Man. We opened up Fortnite Victory Royale Red Lynx, and the G.I. Joe Shipwreck, and this Transformers Leader Class Blitzwing. Can you believe that? Leader Class Blitzwing. Crazy, right? It is a triple changer. But it's Leader Class, so. The first figure that we are going to kick out for today is going to be, now I'm factoring in price point, articulation, and paint and accessories. The first one, I think, is probably going to be this Silvermane figure. I think this Silvermane figure is not good just because of how old of a body mold it's using. I think the face is phenomenal. I love the dark spots they put on this figure. Like, it's phenomenal. Like, it's crazy how realistic it looks. But just repurposing this old Ultimate Spider-Man Beetle body, I mean, it's passable for Silvermane, but for that reason, this is the worst figure that we opened tonight. The next figure that's going to get knocked off is this McFarlane 7 Deadly Sins figure. The reason being, butterfly joints, they have them, not even functional. This ab crunch, look, I'm trying to move it. The ab crunch is not functional. Like, why even have that joint? Why even have that cut? You just get my hopes up, and it doesn't even work. Honestly, bad job by McFarlane Toys. This figure does not move how you think it would move, right? You think it has this articulation, but it's just not functional. I do like the over-exaggerated proportions of it, but other than that, it's kind of a dud of a figure. Next up, I think we'll kick out probably this Molten Man. I do like that they use the marbling effect for it, and it looks really nice. The flame effects add a lot to it, but it's just so solid of a color, and there's not much going on with it besides the fire effects. That I at least like that they use the Vulcan body, but it's just a little bit of a boring character and a boring figure. The next one to get kicked out is this Spidey. No, yeah, the Spider-Man figure. The Spider-Man figure, I do like that it came with 3 sets of hands. So really great that they included 3, the whipping, the wall crawling, and the fisted hands for the Spider-Man figure. But I think personally I would have preferred the black. And it's just an alright figure. It's a small, tiny little figure. It is Spider-Man. It's just an alright figure. It's not bad, but it's just not great either. Next figure we are going to kick out is it's going to have to be this Blitzwing. This Blitzwing, I understand that it's a triple changer. I think this tank mode is very awesome and very cool. But as a $55 figure, the size of this is just so underwhelming that I cannot believe that they're classifying this as a leader class. Like, this is Voyager class. It's honestly even small for a Voyager class, which is crazy to think about. Crazy. So Blitzwing is out. You respect the retro carded swappers? Dude, those guys are surgeons. Those guys need to go to medical school. The guys that can do the retro carded swapping, I don't even understand how that's possible. Those guys need to go into surgery. They do not need to be collecting toys. They can make way more money going to medical school, becoming surgeons, than they are swapping toys. Those guys are insane. All right. The next figures, we have our top 5 figures. The next figure I'm going to kick out is the NECA Mirage Shredder. It pains me to do this. I think it has really, like, the paint is phenomenal. The sculpt is phenomenal. I love the detail all over this figure. Like, the blacks are exactly where I want them to be. The cuts and his alternate head sculpt. He came loaded with accessories. Let's just take a look at that head sculpt again. Like, this head sculpt, 10 out of 10 for this head sculpt. But I just think what really made me not like it was the lack of the ab crunch. I really wish there was an ab crunch and not just a swivel on this, because it's Shredder, and I think he's a mobile character in my eyes. So just having that lack of the ab crunch, Shredder's out. But man, the paint work, 10 out of 10. Okay, we have our top 4 figures. I'm going to have to kick out Marvel's Human Fly. I respect that they did these brand new wings instead of doing just reusing Beetle's wings. And I love the design that they did with these, that they reflect and capture very well the light and the texture on these wings. Great job by Hasbro. I love that they went with the screaming head. The paint apps are great. It's a cool character, but it uses the Vulcan body. Why in 2023, almost towards the end of 2023, are we still using the Vulcan body? Especially when you show that you can use the the Bucky Cap, sorry. Excuse me. Why in 2023 are we using the Bucky Cap mold when you've shown in this pack that you can reuse the Vulcan body, as they did with Bolton Man? If this Human Fly was on the Vulcan body, this figure would be phenomenal. It would be awesome. I love the colors. I love the paint. The wings, 10 out of 10. But for that reason, Human Fly is out. For our top 3, we have 1 G.I. Joe, 1 Victory Royale, and 1 Marvel Legend. The next figure I'm going to kick out, I think just for the sake of, articulation for me, is going to be this Razorback. Now, this Razorback was the best figure from that Marvel Legends 5-pack, and it's like the whole reason why I wanted that 5-pack was just for this figure. This head sculpt is awesome. Of course, with it being, it limits it in the neck. You can't go up and down. You can't go side to side. It has no butterfly because he is a bulkier character, so it doesn't matter too much. But, with it being a comic figure, it's no fault to Hasbro, but it's just a no paint really. It's just a smooth body. It's just a Century Hyperion body that we've seen long time. This is a very old body mold. And the only thing that's kind of new and intriguing is that Warthog head sculpt. It's a cool figure, but not the best, right? Now, the top 2, we have the Victory Royale Lynx and the G.I. Joe Shipwreck. I think both of these figures I would recommend. They have great articulation, great paint, good accessories. Lynx comes with 3 things. She is missing that bat bling, whereas Shipwreck, he comes with multiple guns, the rope, the parrot, alternate hairpiece. He is missing his back bling too. Usually G.I. Joes come with a backpack or anything like that. But I think the best figure for me is gonna have to be the Shipwreck. So this Lynx is the next one to be eliminated. The tiny feet make it hard for it to stand on its own. But I think articulation wise, it moves very agile, just like a cat would. It has an articulated tail. One thing I would have liked to see maybe if it was like purple. But overall, this figure is a 10 out of 10. I love the Victory Royale series, and I can't wait for what Hasbro comes out with next, because these figures are great. Now, our winner is going to be the G.I. Joe Shipwreck. I think this figure, I love that they're going out there and doing different environments to get this little swashbuckling sailor with the parrot. Great accessories, comes with the rope, this pirate pistol, right? the grappling hook, another pistol, and that pistol had very intricate sculpt with like a rope and an anchor. And I love the tattoos. The shark tattoo, that paint on that came out so intricate. Same thing with the anchor, very intricate design. And I love the hair swap ability that you can just pop it off and get him in that nice hair look. So Shipwreck is our winner tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check out our weekly roundup where we talk about all upcoming action figures news so that you don't miss out on any exclusives. You know, sometimes it's hard to keep up with all the news and then that exclusive passes by and you didn't pre-order. So make sure to check out our weekly episode. It's a great time. And as always, keep collecting, keep playing, and may the action figure god smile upon you. Peace.